Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. One very important piece of information came about 20 years ago, and since then I pieced together what I think is a correct interpretation of this particular hadith, which is very important in my opinion. On this side here, you will see that there is a hadith related in Sahih Muslim. It's also contained in Mishkat. And here we see that Abu Hurairah reports that Rasulullah said the last hour shall not occur till 70,000 sons of Ishak will attack the city which is on the sea, understanding him to mean Constantinople. He said the last hour shall not occur till 70,000 sons of Isaac will attack it, but when they come, they will not fight with arms or shower it with arrows. They will simply say, there is no God but Allah, and Allah is the greatest, and one of its sides will fall. They will recite it for a second and a third time, and it will be opened unto them, and they will enter it, and they will gather the spoils of war. And then a proclaimer will come and say, verily Dajjal has come out. And they will return. In Mishkat, the same hadith is also reported with an additional few lines which are extremely important historically. He said, within 6 years, look to the Great War, Jihad Akbar. Then, after 1 more year, the emergence of Dajjal, and revolution which will enter every Arab house, followed by mutual hatred and hostility between the Arabs. We know from the evidence now from the British ambassador, the Times History of the War, and over 168 publications from September 1908, that this event took place on the 8th of July 1908. If we look at it from the timetable that Rasulullah mentions, if we add 6 years to 1908 July, it brings us exactly to July 1914, which is the beginning of the Great War. If you look on any of the monuments, the obelisks, the masalla, you will find the glorious dead fallen in the Great War. So the Jihad Akbar is the term that Rasulullah uses exactly in this hadith. And we call it, if you read any of the British histories, you'll see it's called the Great War. Exactly the term that Rasulullah uses. 1914 is when it begins, exactly 6 years to the day. Then he says, skip 1 year. Then after 1 more year, the emergence of Dajjal. So 1914, the year after 1914 is 1915, which you leap and you go to 1916, which brings us to the Arab revolt headed by Lawrence of Arabia, which begins by August of that year. Now, very interesting again, having the Great War. This is showing the Hijaz flag, but here on the right you will see that in the Hijaz itself, in 1914 and to 15, no outward sign of revolt was there, and Rasulullah says, skip 1 year. The Arab revolt begins in the beginning of September in the year of 1916, exactly in the timetable given by Rasulullah. Now, so here we have this is non-Muslim scholarship. This is actually reporting from the times of the period, and we have here a very important piece, a confirmation that says that this hadith of Rasulullah has to be taken very seriously.